Oh shit, that's not good. Honey, hang on. Broke a throttle cable. No.
You want me to flip it or?
Huh?
You want me to flip?
No. No, we'll go in here. Or, look at this. There's a drop of gear shift cable.
Hale, you think my winter sweater looks that bad?
They think it wasn't necessary.
It's like a blanket for your body.
Damn it. How the hell did that just happen?
Now, do you still have? So you're still on idle though?
No, this one's off.
Totally off.
Yeah, I turned it off. Alright, I gotta kind of dub over this because I got music playing in the background, but in this situation here I got just my port side engine, so when I put it in forward it doesn't want to turn left, you know, because the engine's on the left hand side, and when you put it in forward it wants to kind of keep the nose steering right. So what I'm doing is putting it in reverse and throttling it, and what that does is pull the back end over. So that kind of gets me parallel to the dock. And then as I give it a little bit, I'll just bump it in forward without any throttle. That'll just kind of keep me going forward. And then as I get closer, I can just keep putting it in reverse and just give it a little bit of throttle, and that'll suck the back end over. And then I got my friend Al on the back, and once I got the stern over to the dock, he was able to just step off and then grab a hold of the side of the boat and pull my bow over, because I had the rudder over hard left, and I wasn't really too concerned about keeping the rudder straight or to the right to get the bow over. I really just wanted to kind of get the stern over so Al can get off the boat, and he was just going to grab that line from Milan. I mean, she's putting it around a pole right now, but I think he just comes by here a second, grabs it, pulls her over. That kept me from, horsing the wheel around and trying to make adjustments and all that stuff. With him being on the stern of the boat right there, he was able to just hop off, and we weren't too far away. The bow wasn't too far away. It was only like, just on a little bit of an angle. So he just kind of pulled me over, and we got it hooked to the dock, and then we went off to dinner. So here, the next part of the video, I'll show you the install. All right, so last night we were heading over to the canal, and as I was docking, this is my port side, starboard, broke the cable. So I pulled it off here, got the cable out from in the housing, and as you can see, it went together like this. That was kind of pressed in there, but brass, so I was just able to pop it out. And then this cable was in here like this, and it snapped right in the crimped end. That was crimped like that, so that cable snapped. So what I was hoping happened is it just slipped out of this crimp area here maybe, and I could just put it back in there and then recrimp it. But since it broke, the only other alternative I had was to buy another one of these that's like, half an inch longer or 3/4 of an inch longer to take up for the part that's broken in there, because he's kind of got to be, there's some adjustment here but not enough. So I was hoping to put that back together and crimp it. The other alternative is to cut it right here, slide this in further and crimp it, but now we're going to be an inch short, so that won't work. So I was just on Amazon looking for cables, and I'm just going to tie a string to this end here, pull it back through, because it fishes all through everything down in there. So once I pull it through, I'll leave that string laying there, so when I get the new cable I can pull it through with the string. But I got to pull this out to find out the length of it. I don't know if it's 10 feet or 12 feet or 15 feet, so I want to get the right length. And it's not expensive. It's like $47 for a new cable. So I'll probably get 2 of them, just because if this one broke, that means the other one's probably going to. I mean, they are 19 years old. So just one of those things. So luckily it happened when we were just across the way and I can get back on one, but I'm just gonna go get another cable, and then I'll show you the fix once it gets in here. Heading down to the boat today. Got that shift cable. I got 2 new ones here. Oh, looks like Alon bought a little bench cushion. Nice. That looks good. Also, I had my canvas guy fix this zipper. This was broken here, so he fixed that. And he also replaced the bows in both of these windows. This one here, all the screws that hold this track in, they're just out a little bit, and it was tearing at that bow, and it ended up ripping it like from here to here. So this was flapping. So I took it to him and do it. He did the 2 bows and the zipper for 20 bucks. Guy's freaking amazing. So he did that for me. So let's get the engine compartment up. So next thing you know, I gotta pull the canvas up out of here because it's pretty hot. It's only like 72 degrees, I think, outside, but underneath the black canvas with no breeze, it's warm. I'm just gonna flop this up on the roof like that, and then, well, that's up better already. I'll roll this thing up, get the back off. All right, so the other day I came down here and I just ordered. I didn't have any string with me or anything to bring the old shift cable back through. So I just kind of eyed it up and had an estimate on how much I would need or how long it was. I came up with 14 feet, and a couple people were like, "Oh, that's a very, very common size for that style boat." Blah blah blah. So I figured, oh, okay, so that's probably it. Well, I'll show you in a minute what I did. But I grabbed a 14 footer and I taped it to the old one. So, all right, here's what I did. Take this panel off, so the shift cables go through there. So take this off, and the shift cables. Here's my shifters here. They came up and they go in there. So this is a 14 footer right here. And what I did was the old one. So here's an old one here. This is another one I'm going to replace. This is my port side. So I just take the ends and I tape them together so they're nice and straight. And then I can reach from here, and I have the cord, the shift cable right here. I'll push on it with one hand, and with my other hand I'll pull on the black one and bring it through. And it just goes down through that one of those two. This one, the bottom one, goes through there, goes down along the ceiling of my aft cabin, and that's all exposed, so I can go down there. If it gets snagged on something, I can push it through down in the engine compartment, and then down in the engine compartment, and then I'll show you where it comes out. So it was pretty simple. It only took me like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and most of that was taking apart. Oh, did she take it? Shit, she moved that stuff. Where'd she put it? Up here. Okay, I had this in order. Alright, this is important. Alright, so I love having this electric hatch, but man, they're slow, aren't they? It's a lot better than moving all your furniture out of the way to have to lift it. This seat here, I just gotta. It usually has one of those gas shocks in it, so you can put it up and it'll stay up. But it would, nobody's sitting on it, it bounces. So I didn't like it, so I took it off. Anyways, the shift cable goes along there through that thing above the aft cabin, and then out through the hole back there, along here, over, up. It came up through here, and then it went in there. Okay, into there. So that's what I need to do. That's laying down in the build right now, but I'm gonna tape the new one, the 18-footer, to it and bring it through, and then we'll get it hooked up, and I'll show you how to hook that up. This one says, where's the number on it? Oh, okay, so that's the 14-footer, and then I had a 12. Oh, here's the new ones. So those got to go back. This is a 21-footer, so that's the port side engine. 18-footer for the starboard. I figure it's about 36 inches between the two transmissions, give or take, but there's a little bit of room for leeway. So let me get the 18 out, and we'll hook it to that one, and we'll get it pulling through. All right, now with it taped through, I can send this through. So got to go down here. Let's get this thing straight. Out the door. Close to it. Okay, now, come on, cooperate. Cooperate, buddy. Out the door. Get out of the door. That way. Okay, nice and straight. Now I gotta come down here and grab. Ouch, that was my head. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Ooh, battery's almost dead. Let me pull this through, and I'll turn it back on in a second. She's a little jammed up here. Just kind of help it through. Push it, and then gotta do it. Look, yeah, you don't want to pull it out of the tape. You know what I mean? So just go until you hit a snag. Usually there's a little bit of a bend it's got to make it through, and since it's so rigid here. All right, so that's in the aft cabin. So I can pull this through another 3 or 4 feet. Okay. And then it gets snagged there. So now I gotta go to the aft cabin. Unless I can push it through here. Oh. Never mind, I think I pushed it through. I think. No. You don't want to just reef on it because you'll just pull it apart of the tape. So stuff pulled down so I can get to it. And it is right here. And I gotta get through right there. Right, where'd you go? I think that's through. Oh, okay. It's just hung up on the little parts that bring it through. All right. Let's see if we got it. Oh, I think so. Or did I? Can't tell. Oh yeah. Okay. This here. Oh, it's getting hung up again. It's right where it passes through the wall. And yeah, see, it's fine there. It's right where it passes through the bulkhead in the aft cabin.
So, oh, there it goes. All right, so there's just a little, the crappy hole in the bulkhead here with all 5200 on it, and it got hung up on a little ball of tape. You don't want to just go ahead and reef on it, because you'll pull it apart at the tape. You know what I mean? So this is how you do it. So now it should be all the way through. Yep. Here it is. Here's the end. Okay, so this is the end. So untape this. And working down here is the hardest part. Not that it's difficult, but I have the length of the rod that goes into that plastic part correct, so I don't need to adjust it anymore. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 threads right there, and then I'll show you once I get it on here. So let me get this, let me get the plastic parts here and we'll put this together and install it. This little plastic piece here, the nut, this goes on the stud. That's on that back part of the transmission, and then that part there gets this piece here, screws onto there with a jam nut, four threads behind it, and that's the right length. And this thing just spins, and it's got this little C-clip that locks into this groove right here. So you just you take all the rubber crap off. This one's actually, you don't need that one for this application, on mine at least. And then this piece just slides on and it clips on there, so that won't go anywhere. This can just spin around. So now you have to route it. If you look, he routes it through, it's got to make, just really nice sweeping curves. So it wraps through, comes along the ceiling here, and then goes underneath my power steering cooler, whatever cooler this is, goes underneath it, and then just straight out, just goes underneath it here, and then straight out to the transmission. So let me get that route, and then I'll show you. Got a pretty good, nice sweeping bend to it. It's gonna bend up a little bit higher once I get it over there, because it doesn't want to be back this far. It doesn't have to be. They want a maximum of a 4-inch radius, and this is like a 24-inch 30-inch radius, so I can tighten that up quite a bit. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and put this back together, get it mounted there, and then route it the rest of the way. But I like it the way it goes down here behind all these wires, and just makes a nice gradual sweep, and then we can curl it up here a little better. But let me go ahead and put this thing back on, put the nuts on it, and we'll go from there. Super simple, just a washer and a nut, and then there's the shift cable. And I can already tell right now that's so smooth. So it's neutral. Well, that would be forward, because pushing the throttle forward will pull this. So that's forward, neutral, reverse. I think I have this set at the right thing. There's just 4 little marks, but we can make fine tune adjustments up at the helm. So if when I put the stick in neutral, it doesn't go quite into neutral, I can make an adjustment. So that's that. I'm just going to tighten up these 2 7/16" nuts, and we'll head up to the helm and put that part together. I pulled this cable off. I just unscrewed it from here because it was broken. The end was broken right here, so I just unscrewed it. But I got to take this key out, pull this thing out of here, and thread it onto the cable. And there's a measurement on the black cable where it used to be. No, there isn't anymore, because this is the broken side. So I'm gonna have to I think I kind of remember where it was. It was pretty close to, like this. And then there's the jam nut that goes on it. So let me get this part taken out, and we'll screw it to the other cable, get it hooked up. I went down and just shifted the linkage into neutral. My hand just found the very happy medium, and that's where it is right here too. It's in the neutral position. And now they give you this little blocker here. It kind of goes This has got a little slot in it, fits in that groove, and then this guy goes here to block it in. Oh, did I go in the wrong way? Oh yeah, I did. Goes this way. This, and then that screw keeps it from sliding out through that groove. See that? So you just loosen that screw to get that out, tighten it back up, and then that cable's locked in. Like that. Now that can't come out, cable can't come out, we're good to go. Just want to run this little rubber bushing, this little rubber grommet here. Stuff like that. And that's in. Now I just got to put this little pin through, but before I put the pin through, I'm going to fire up the, oh, actually, get the keys. See if we're actually in neutral. So this is the starboard side, right? Yes. See if we're in neutral. Yep, we're in neutral. Okay, good. Perfect. So now, while I have this out, I'll put this pin back in to hold that, and then I'll take this one out, unscrew that end, and get this cable out to bring the 21 footer through. So let me get this one tightened up, and I'll get back to you when I pull that one out. Now while this is out, I'm gonna send this one through in a second, but now when this is out, this is when you kind of want to inspect everything in here, make sure everything's got a good amount of grease on it. I have some what do you call it, graphite spray that is like a dry lubricant, and I'm going to spray it in here just to get these parts going. And this little screw here is for your detent. You can hear this noise, that click. That's that little ball bearing that it's holding. If you want to pull your detent out or push your detent in or out to make it stiffer or looser, you can, but this one seems to be really nice and easy. So wicked hot out here, so I just quickly ran that 21 footer through, and I got, well, that's the old one I got to take back. New 21 footers there. I just got to route it along the top of the bulkhead, top of the floor, a little bit better. The other one's all good, but nice and buttery smooth. Nice detent. Get it right there. Both of them. Nice and smooth. So that's good. So yeah, I'm boiling hot right now. So I'm done with this one. I'm just going to clean up and get out of here, and then come back down later, and we're going to go boating somewhere. So until then, please comment, rate, subscribe, and have a great day.